Hello there everyone, this is I Am Mark III and welcome back to Cliff Empire, where we continue to struggle against the menace of the people that I presume were left behind on the surface of the planet when my forebears buggered off into space to be safe from the radiation and stuff. Yes, and don't worry, we're paused. This is still Cliff Empire, I'm just in an alternate camera mode. Cliff Empires has an isometric camera mode, as it turns out, which is actually alright. Or maybe it's, well, isometric is not really it, it's orthographic. A matter of taste, it says. I'm fine with it either way, honestly. I've played a lot of games in that rigid style of camera, but hey, here we go. Anyway, we have a naming to do. Admittedly, I have received 2 names. However, they both came from the same person. So, I will only pick one, and the other 2 will be named after the previous 2 commenters before that person. So, first up, Lollard, I'm going to give you this one. Spire is yours. Though you specifically said, if I recall correctly... here we go. Wait, what was it? Yeah, here we go. So, specifically said, the Spire is Lollatopolis, as it is the best working city. Okay, sure. Lollatopolis. Yeah, and the previous ones, as I said, are going to be mentioned after previous comments. So, we are going to say... Razul and Happy Hafer are going to get the other 2. Neither of you asked for this, but hey, there you go. Heaven Water is going to become Haferton. So Happy Hafer. I hope I've spelled that correctly. Probably haven't, but let's do double check really quickly. Scroll down a little bit. Show me comments, please, YouTube. Yes. Yep, I spelled it wrong. Okay, I thought I did. That's why I was checking. It's an F, not a PH. Haferton. And Raz, you're getting Split, but that's because Split is the problem child at the moment. It's got wrecked so hard. So this is going to be called Raztown. And that is, you get that one purely because you have an ability for working stuff through. So... naming after this one after Razul gives it the best chance of coming forward and shining. So yes, anyway, moving on, shall we? We have got a bit of a mess, but a recent update has actually given us a wave timer. So it's telling us that we've got just under 6 minutes of game time before the next wave hits. But I've also got some comments and stuff from the comments to read. Comments from the comments. Delightfully redundant, but yes, here we go. Right, one thing don't get... I can sell stuff from city to city. Okay, so this is how city-to-city trade works. Unfortunately, you can't send anything for free. So, anything moved between the cities is sold, quote-unquote. However, it is a direct transfer of finances. So... if I send a unit of food, I get an equivalent amount of credits back, and then it's the same credits back and forth, back and forth. So if I click here, and you look, almost all of these things are the same. 15, 15, 31s. There's a couple which are a little bit odd, honestly. I'm not entirely sure why that is. But I think that's because there's an active demand for them, and so the price has been bumped up ever so slightly. But yeah, that's why that is. Unfortunately, you can't set it to a specific amount. Like, you can't say, hey, every day I want you to send me 10 materials and I'll send you, say, 5 fruits and a fish. Yeah, can't do that. All you can do is, like, buy above an amount or sell if you've got more than an amount. Or you can set up a one-time sale or one-time purchase. There's no fixed contracts you can set, which is honestly something that's a bit lacking. I wish there was something like that. It'd make this a bit more manageable. So there's that. The problem comes when we deal with the orbital station, which is done through our trade portals. Since the trade portals, if we buy stuff from the orbital station, we pay equivalent or greater. So it looks to be about equivalent. This place seems to have a bit of a need for batteries, so the price is higher. But yeah, it does seem to be like it gets a bit higher if there's an active constant order thing going on, which is a bit of a shame. But there we go. If we buy something from orbit, it costs the same. However, if we export something to orbit, it is ridiculously lower. There's a massive markdown on it. So we can export materials to get funds, but we don't want to do that, because doing so removes a lot of value from the map. A lot of our hard-earned credits disappear. So really we don't want to do that. If possible, we want to source needed supplies from other cities, because then at least the money stays somewhere on the map, you know? And another city gets to benefit from what's going on. So that's that. So that's kind of it puts a bit of a nail in trying to organise commerce between the cities in a beneficial manner, because it's all measured against hard currency, and it can only be if you've got below a certain amount or more than a certain amount. That's the only time you can actually kick in an automatic trade deal. So a bit limited there, unfortunately. But yeah, the only way to actually get free money is if you sell it to orbit, which is at a greatly reduced rate. Right, next moving on. There is another comment which is about keeping people a bit happier, which is, don't I have a house which produces a little bit of fruits and stuff? Technically, no, I don't, actually. You're thinking of the Eco House, which is, if I pause it again really quick, this one, the Eco House here. It houses a bit less than the equivalent medium residence, and it consumes the same amount of power, got a slight aesthetic boost. It is, however, drastically more expensive to build. Like, the basic medium residence is 26 tenants for 20 matter and 350 credits, or cryptocurrency, so 350 cryptos. The Eco House, it produces water, food, salad, and grapes. It doesn't provide fruit or fish, but food, salad, and grapes. So that's half of the vitamin balance thing going on, as well as the food and water supplies for the people that live in it. It doesn't actually do this by producing those supplies. It just counts the people in it as being supplied by that, and so they aren't counted against how much the city actually needs. So it's not actually a production structure, it's just the people in it don't count towards those totals. But the cost, 30 matter, 5 grapes, 5 salads, and 2,000 cryptos. 2,000. Versus this, which holds more and only costs 350 and 2/3 of the matter cost. So, no thank you. That is definitely bad in our current state. We just can't afford something like that. So that is that. Unfortunately, to get supplies and do all that kind of thing, I need to get things working a bit better. So, let's see. You say Lolitopolis is the best working. It's the most developed, really. I mean, it's got functional defensive grids. It's got alternate employment for when the guns are turned off. Its power supply is mostly operational. It's not the best functioning, though, ironically. It's simply the only one which actually has a decent money generation. Well, it's got some money generation. That's all it's got, really. It's not decent because it's got minus 40% to its work efficiency, due purely to lack of vitamins and stuff for the most part, and also a shortage of healthcare too. Haferton has that as well, but Raztown is the only one that has 100% efficiency, and that's the one that got blown up. It's the most efficient one here, even though it's also the smallest and the most crippled. But you know, you can't have everything, can you? Anyway, let's see. The trading pool is not set up, but we can actually start getting Raztown back on its feet if we set up some sell orders. So let's sell 50, 50. So I'm going to start selling some water and some grain. We can get a one-time bump. Haferton, you're generating uranium, aren't you? Yes, you are. Let's see. You are generating some uranium. So you've got the massive matter and food sources and stuff like that. So Haferton is well positioned there. So that means I can actually go into Raztown and I'll set a one-time sale for the uranium stock that it got when it was founded. And I'm going to do the same to Lolitopolis as well. So we're going to sell those off since Haferton doesn't need it. It's going to keep on generating anyway. Though its power plant is still under production, it does have a uranium production site there, and it's going to keep on going. What we really need to get our cities into overdrive, though, is money. In all honesty, money is what we want to get as best possible. And honestly, I think Lolitopolis is a prime candidate for trying to push further. But simply because it's developed and it's the only one which actually has some kind of credit reserve at the moment. It's at its population cap pretty much. So anything added will reduce its efficiency further. We need more housing. But we can do something about some of its deficiencies. So we can get some some variety if I put down a port. I think, can we fit? Well, if I didn't have a house there, I could fit one down here. That's too narrow to go across, so I actually need to move that house to get a port in there. I could get a port in... Yeah, a port will fit there. What about on this side? Yeah, a port will fit in there as well. So we could get up to 3 ports in Lolitopolis. I'll put one down there just to get it rolling. I still think I'm going to have to move this eventually, but for now we'll just get a supply moving. So we'll also buy a complex upgrade there. Just get more people. Haferton is got surplus people, so that's okay. I'm going to let the game start rolling again. This is something that else that was mentioned. It's like I don't pause often enough when I'm trying to sort stuff out. It would give me more time to try and figure things. Like we've got 102 out of 127. I think I need another wind turbine. That said though, 100% uranium. Lolitopolis is a perfect candidate for nuclear power if I could afford it. Which by the way I can't, but hey, details. It's also a potential candidate for, I think, export. Let's have a look here. I mentioned I did some poking around on the weaponry a couple of episodes ago. I also found out what a trade shuttle is. A trade shuttle allows you to shunt 20 goods around, which is also the limit by good type of the trade platform, by the by. But it runs on uranium. It can't transfer uranium because it's a volatile substance. But any other goods type, it can shift around to a destination of your choice for trade. So think of it like a trade platform which comes a lot more often, and you can tell it to trade with your other cities instead, if you are so inclined. It just needs a supply of uranium to operate, more than anything else. Okay, good, we've got the port up, at the very least, so that's going to help out. Let's also check my lists here. We are at night time, so there's no point checking power. We are... Lolitopolis is short on food. We have surplus water, surplus... We have some surpluses, but we are short on food supply. So that means I want to get a food supply going in. And that's going to have to be a covered crop farm. Where am I going to put that though? Where's it going to be safest? I think just over here, probably. Near the guns. Okay, Haferton. Surplus. Small food deficiency. You've got fish. You've got tons of matter. In fact, don't we have matter trade set up on these guys? Yes, we do. Okay. Fine. Let's kick it back up to acceleration then. While we check on the stats of Raztown, which is overwhelmingly in the positive for what supplies it's got. It's also the only one that still has stockpiles of its initial goods, but that's no, they didn't succeed in Raztown, did they? They only blew it up. Oh. Lolitopolis, you're under attack. Where are they coming from? That direction. Okay, shut down. Guns, 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 guns. Guns, 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 and guns. All guns are on. And we've got a bit of a sizable force coming in to try and savage our quote-unquote best city. Oh dear. Yeah, Lolitopolis is growing. I need to beef up the defences. It's 140 people at the moment, so this might be a bit much for the defences here. We're going to take some damage. In fact, I need to beef up the defences all over the darn place, really. Yeah, here we go. Don't know why they stopped firing. They seem to struggle a bit sometimes. Either that, they just have very short firing. It seems like they only have short firing bursts on these guns as well, which kind of sucks. Please don't wreck much else. I'm going to lose a wind farm or two, I know it. Lolitopolis might be about to get... We've not got enough. I don't think we've got enough in Lolitopolis to sort this out. Yeah, that's too much. 160 people called too much firepower onto Lolitopolis. It's been wrecked. And I think they're actually going to get away with the... yep, Lolitopolis, your storage depot is gone. Have fun with that. Oh dear. There was nothing I could have done about that one. And to rebuild the storage takes 350 cryptocurrency. So yeah, Lolitopolis is dead. That was 15 minutes into the video, and it's like, bop, off goes one of your 3 cities. If you haven't got this memo so far, Constant Marauders is brutal, to say the absolute least. Very, very punishing. So the only way to get Lolitopolis back is to have a loan sent over there. Well, we get a loan, and from another city, and the other cities aren't in a position to do that at the moment. So if I, let's set a one-time sale for 25. Yeah. Sorry, Lolitopolis is already dead. I'm going to try and get it back though, because that would be kind of sucky if it stayed that way. Raztown is doing something. What are you buying? Oh, you're buying batteries. That's because your solars aren't built yet. Come on. Jeez. And Haferton is, well, being Haferton. Let's be honest. Haferton is struggling just a tiny bit. I think I can do some stuff to increase it though. I can actually rebuild this mine to increase its matter output, which is a massive chunk of change, but there we go. What I need is the moolah. Monies. The muns. And I think I want to try and get a trade shuttle, if possible, to increase the frequency of trade visits.
Trading platform arrived.
I also think first things first, well, actually something also important is probably actually getting an actual upgrade to my drone fleet. Though I've also got Wave 5 coming in pretty soon. Raztown. I'm going to tell Haferton with... No, Haferton's down to 76 credits. I call them credits, it's crypto. If it wasn't for that massive loss in crypto... if it wasn't just for the sheer amount of crypto needed, I'd be doing a lot better. But I need the crypto. Also, they keep stealing massive chunks. I mean, 50 doesn't sound like much, but it's a massive amount of money. Let's see. Let's try it this way. Let's throw down a whole bunch of passive generation.
Trading platform arrived.
Which is very space inefficient, I must add. But it's also, I think, the best I can get away with at the moment. Raztown is building up at least a little bit of resource right now. But it's saving up to get an office building. It's also very small, which is why it's not going to get hit as hard as the other two cities.
Large construction completed.
Okay, we've got that. You are slowly generating more money. If only there was a better way to do this. There's nothing in the wall structures that can help me, is there? There's a hotel, there's vertical houses. All the wall stuff is... Look at that. 10,000 credits for a vertical hotel. Oops. Don't mind me, I'm just fumbling on the buttons. Right. Vertical vineyard, 900 odd. 500 for a vertical indoor crop farm. Yeah, that's 1,000 credits for a vertical vineyard. Or vineyard, or however you want to pronounce it. The regular vineyard costs a couple of hundred less and less matter. And well, it's actually not that bad. But it is still a bit of a chunk
Large construction
that I'd rather not put to risk, if I'm at all honest. Come on, people. Oh, Raztown. Raztown. You have 30 people. Your attack is similar sized, actually. Does that mean they changed things? I thought it was tied to, like, size of places. Huh. That is honestly a really bad thing. I was surprised by the size of the one that hit Lolitopolis as well. So I'm wondering if the game balance has shifted in the recent update. Might have done. So I think I can slam down. Raztown only has 35 credits to its name. No. This might be kind of bad. Oh dear. And some of its defences aren't even active. Pause. What else can I shut down to get them? There's no workforce at all. Anywhere. Shutting down everything. And I'm not freeing up anything like enough people to operate things, I don't think. And yeah, that just flew straight over. Oh dear. Raztown, you're dead. Very, very dead.
Trading platform
Why? What's it? This is from riches to ruins, I think. Very much so. I mean, Haveton's the only one I've got left. So I think I can. And my drone's already selling as fast as I can. I can't sell any faster. There's nowhere else to sell things to either. Raztown's well and truly gone. Just pause everything over there because, well,
large
it's not going to work, honestly. This has gone so far south, I cannot believe it. Then again, I actually can. This is Cliff Empires. It's constant marauders is a very tricky thing to be trying to deal with. And honestly, I don't have the pattern down for trying to deal with it. I wish I had more drones. I wish I had more drones. I wish I had more money.
Trading platform.
I mean, I can't afford to get the. Yeah, I think that's what I did to myself. Actually, I didn't get an early airport out anywhere. So I didn't get drones up. I didn't get faster trading. I didn't get a rapidly escalating source of income. Because my population is expanding just because of the size of things. So, yeah, I'm sorry to say this, guys, but this is how this particular attempt seems to have gone. Second attempt to recolonize Earth has ended in utter destruction once again. I know these guns aren't enough, But I'm holding off because I literally can't afford anything else. I mean, it's 120 per launcher, 160 per turret. I'm thinking maybe I should have had some launchers mixed in as well from the start, but the lack of money, once again, bit of a game killer, if I'm at all honest.
Tiny construction completed.
Yes, look at that
Trading
tiny missile
platform
launcher.
arrived.
That tiny missile launcher. This video is going to hit wave... Well, when wave 6 comes in. I really wish I'd built Blooming Airport.
Tiny construction
Ooh,
completed.
we managed to afford it. Okay. Actually, this is working really. This is working out okay. I should have done this. Should have done this a lot sooner. Got another town square now. I don't know how many meeting places 100 odd people need, but hey, it's providing us a steady trickle, actually, of money, and that might be enough to try and sort this.
Arrived.
So we've got that one. We've got the extra thing going on there. We can actually afford an additional launcher again. Wait. Oh, yeah, the patch note said there's more stuff. I broke off there because I saw something. Spherical shield blocks enemy bullets of small calibers. Needs to supply a generator with batteries. Spend 1 battery for every 5 blocks. Ooh. We have a way to stop them from blowing up the buildings. Awesome. Also, there's a multi-missile launcher as well, which is a energy rockets causes 20% less damage than the simple ones, but releases 5 rockets at once with a small recharge. Necessary to supply the rocket launcher with batteries. Uses 1 battery per shot. So these guys rely on an abundant power supply, which we lack. Honestly, we do have some battery reserves though. We are selling excess uranium. We don't have enough drones, definitely. But the shield, 10 mats, 700. The 700 is potentially a massive problem. But let's try and get 1 up at least, I suppose. I mean, this is the densest area here. The uranium mine is over here. I didn't build my defensive setup though with this in mind. So if we do fail, oh, I saw a flare at the edge of the shield there for a moment before it when I placed it down. Seems like it prepares like about there. So it protects, I think, about a radius of 3. Yeah, I think 3 is what it shields around itself. But honestly, protecting structures, that is a massive changer for trying to survive this. It'll help so much if I can rig up shields immediately. Hopefully it's not behind a few honor ranks and we don't have to survive before we get it. It's multi-launcher though, looks really nice. I look forward to getting to play with these, honestly, but anyway, here comes the raid. So the raid is coming in past Lolitopolis. Priority 1, get that thing built, like right now. Also reactivate all extraneous systems, so all remaining turrets are going online. The shield is not in that area, though I will pause it, just so we don't accidentally spend the credits getting it up and built. I'm also going to pause the factory. I'll pause the uranium mine, just to make sure I've got enough manpower out there to get the turrets operational at full power. But that is way more than what killed Lolitopolis. I'm just pointing that out now. That is way more.
Tiny construction
And this city actually has less people than Lolitopolis had when it got blown up. So I'm wondering if, like, every time it gets a supply depot out, it makes the wave stronger. That is how I would have coded it, or created it, or whatever. Oh, there's a missile flying around. But still, that is a lot of stuff. I think they've definitely rebalanced how the Marauder attacks work. And look at that missile, just like circling uselessly. Yeah, I don't think I can stop this one either. So this is definitely the end of this particular attempt. The denizens of Earth have once again driven off the barbaric invaders. Very much so. Because Haferton crumbles to ruin. However, this will not be the end. We may have stopped them from escaping with that. So they didn't get the spoils of their victory, but Haferton is pretty much dead at this point. I could afford to start it up for one last attempt, but the problem is, look at it. I think about 3/4 of the city is in ruins at this point, so I don't think there's any point in trying to. All that will do is get wave 7 to hit us and finish the job. So yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to call this particular attempt there, but I am going to try again. I'm not done. So tune in next time for the third attempt of the oh-so-stubborn orbital peons, the space noids. Orbital peons? Where did that come from? Orbital peasants? No, people. The orbital people to recolonize Earth in Cliff Empire. I will keep the names I have used here, by the by, so I don't think it's quite right to have those names in for just one episode. So Raztown, Haferton and Lolitopolis will be the ones we bring to the party in the next part. So, yes, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, shake a fist at YouTube, whatever you like. This is Brian Mark III, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all some other time. Where hopefully we can survive a little bit longer than Wave 6. Well, Wave 7, technically, but you get the idea.